Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky signed a decree imposing sanctions on 5 Chinese-registered companies accused of supplying components used in Russian Shahed-type drones, which have been deployed in attacks on Ukrainian cities. The companies targeted by the sanctions include Central Asia's Silk Road International Trade, Suzu, ECOD, Precision Manufacturing, Shenzhen Royo Technology, Shenzhen Jinduobang Technology, and Ningbo Bilin Machinery. The decision follows a July 4th air assault on Kyiv, during which Ukrainian forces recovered Chinese-made parts from downed Russian drones. China, a key partner to Russia amid its war in Ukraine, has been instrumental in helping Moscow circumvent sanctions by supplying dual-use goods that aid Russia's defense sector. Ukrainian officials have expressed concerns over this ongoing support, with Zelensky accusing China of indirectly supporting Russia's war efforts, particularly by blocking drone sales to Ukraine while continuing to supply them to Russia. As Russian-Chinese relations continue to deepen, with President Vladimir Putin scheduled to meet Chinese President Xi Jinping in September, Ukraine's sanctions reflect increasing efforts to target those facilitating Russia's military capabilities. Now we go back to our discussion with Ross Feingold. He's a political analyst joining us live from Taipei. Thank you, Ross, for staying with us. How significant are these sanctions on Chinese and specific Chinese companies in disrupting Russia's supply chain for this type of drone used in the conflict?
Unfortunately for Ukraine, it's pretty insignificant because these are companies far away in China. They have substantial business with Russia, and they probably have no ties to Ukraine. So the sanctions imposed by Ukraine are probably more symbolic. It'll generate some negative international media coverage. That's why we're talking about it on this broadcast. But it's not going to change the behavior of the Chinese companies, certainly not going to change the procurement by Russian companies of dual-use technologies from manufacturers in China. So unfortunately for Ukraine, this is not going to have any effect at all on Russia's ability to procure certain technologies from Chinese manufacturers. But again, it does have some symbolism for Ukraine.
And what does Ukraine's move signal about this broader geopolitical tensions between China, Russia, and the West amid this war?
Yeah, that's a really good question, because I think it gives Western countries, Western Europe, Central Europe, the United States, it gives them more facts to go back to China and say, you know, we've talked to you about this, we've warned you about this, you've denied it. But we have more information. We have facts that show that Chinese companies are helping the Russian war effort. And again, this is something that the Chinese government has continually denied since the start of the war. But if they're presented with the facts, then they're going to be in a very difficult position. And we'll see the Western countries will also sanction these Chinese companies as well. And it'll just, again, it will make China look very bad, especially given their past denials of engaging in this kind of trade with Russia.
Thank you very much, Ross Feingold.